Hello everybody, Guys the Pirate here, and welcome back to another commentary video. Now today, it was recommended to me that I try something a little different. A subscriber of mine recommended to me that I review, or rather give a bit of a spotlight onto some indie titles out there, and being a big supporter of the indie scene that I am, I thought, you know what, that's a fantastic idea. I'm in full support of that, and I thought, what better way to start this off than by showing one of my favorite independent titles called Hard Reset. Now, for those of you who don't know, Hard Reset is an old school first person shooter, entirely single player, so that means no multiplayer at all, none of that gimmicky stuff. It is simply you, some guns, and a ton of bad guys between you and the exit. Now, this is the gaming style I love. I love old school shooters. I love Doom. I love Quake. One of my favorite shooters of all time is a game called Painkiller, which just so happens a lot of the developers who made the original Painkiller have actually made Hard Reset by merging to that company, but a little bit on that later. So, Hard Reset. Essentially what it is a sci-fi first-person shooter where a bunch of robots have taken over the last human settlement. And it's basically you being a big, bad, tough guy to deal with them. That's where the fun comes in. Hard Reset's gameplay is really, really fast, as you may see in the gameplay shown. It's really fast, because not once are you going to be standing still. If you stand still, you die. It's as simple as that, because a lot of Hard Reset's enemies, whether they be small little ones who come at you to chop you up with blades, or giant ones who choose to come and ram you, trust me, that gets annoying because they're fast. You're gonna die if you stand still. So you're constantly on the move, you're constantly trying to shoot stuff while being on the constant move. You cannot stand still, which adds to Hard Reset's difficulty. It is a difficult game, I'll admit. I tried playing this game on medium, and got most of the way through it, but by the end of it, I admit I had to turn the difficulty down because the game got unforgivingly difficult. Now, that could be just because I'm a terrible gamer. I will openly admit to that. I openly admit to being a terrible gamer, and that's why some of my gameplay videos are never very good. But for veteran shooters, I think they will find a wonderful challenge with Hard Reset. The levels themselves are open, but ultimately linear. They do have plenty of secrets hidden in them for those of you who have played Quake, and that there's plenty of secret finding to find upgrades for your two guns that you start with. You start off with essentially what I like to call a human gun, which is your minigun. It starts off as a minigun. You can upgrade it to a rocket launcher, a shotgun, your standard weapons like that. But you also get, I think it's a plasma gun. It looks like the best way of describing it would be like an electric gun, that kind of stuff, which will shoot your rail guns. One of its fire modes shoots a stasis grenade, which seals everything in a little dome, giving you enough time to pump some rockets in there. And all of this adds to some strategy to when you're fighting these enemies, because some of the fights in this game do get really difficult. The two boss fights in it, however, are not all that complicated. Essentially, it's shoot the glowy bits while being swarmed by plenty of other little enemies. It's not too difficult to understand. So, my only complaint with this game, I guess, would be it's short. You can finish this game in a little over the same amount of time it would take to finish a Call of Duty campaign. I think on medium difficulty, the Hard Reset took me about 9 hours to finish. So it's a little bit short for my liking. I like these kind of games to be a little bit longer, because not once did I feel like repetition was sitting in. That being said, the game could use a little bit more variety in its enemies. Now, there's plenty of little smaller ones, but you do start to get the feel for which enemies do what, and you start to realize that there really is maybe only 5 different enemy types, and you'll deal with them throughout the entire campaign. So those are my only 2 complaints. The game is graphically very pretty, very, very pretty, and even on my system, which is running I think a 2 or 3 year old graphics card, running it on maximum settings is a bit of a trick, especially when things start to get a little hectic. I did notice some significant amounts of lag, but those of you who have more powerful PCs than me will not have to deal with that hassle. So, all in all, do I recommend Hard Reset to you guys? Without a doubt. If you're a fan of old school first-person shooters like this, of this style, you would be a fool not to pick up Hard Reset. It is made essentially by a company named Flying Wild Hog, which is made up of a number of the original Painkillers developers. So anyone who's played the original Painkiller will definitely get some kicks out of Hard Reset. And do you know the best thing about that? At the moment, being Steam's wonderful summer sales, it is available for only $3.74. If you can't justify paying $3.74 for a game of this quality, then there is something seriously wrong with you. Buy this game. And if you have played it, I want to know what your thoughts on it are, because I'm a huge fan of this game, and I want to know what everyone else's experiences are with it. So, go and buy this game. That is all I can say. Guys, a Pirate recommends. But that's enough for me. If you have an indie game you want me to review, if I have it, I will look into it. If not, if it's cheap, I will buy it. But, yeah, leave your recommendations down below, and I will see you in the next video. Guys, a Pirate out. Bye.